The cold, man. Hey, if you go to the stress, then the stress will not come to you. We, as humanity, we made ourselves sick, and we went for the temptations of entertainment and comfort zone behavior. Silent wars are going on right now, and we're gonna still those wars. We're gonna bring the peace, and we're gonna bring conception. We're gonna bring confidence, and that's love.
I just knew I was addicted to my phone. My daughter actually collapsed. She was 14 at the time. Couldn't go to school anymore. The heightened perception. You see everything. Your opponent is slow motion. He doesn't even matter. He's going to lose anyway.
Imagine you live your life and then your partner, the person you love, the partner with whom you have children and all, and you just think you're going to stay forever together. The love of your life. And then jumps 8 stories down. My children made me survive. The cold healed me.
Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to CODE49, the place where we search for higher common ground. What a beautiful place that would be. A place where we don't fight over our differences, but we try to celebrate our differences and connect them. Because if there's anything the world needs right now, more than ever maybe, is more and stronger human connections. And talking about special human connections, Alistair Overeem Wim Hof, 2 giants, each in your own industry. Wim, maybe you want to kick it off. How did the human connection between you guys start? How did it evolve over the years? And do you have any plans together for the future?
Yeah, that was quite a moment. I didn't know about Alistair until he came. And he came because of his trainer. He said, maybe you go to this guy. He's into breathing and the cold. They call him the Iceman. And he came to me. I lived back then in a little garden house. That was my only possession. And
you lived there actually.
Yeah, yeah. I had to live somewhere.
Small gardening. That was really small.
Yeah. 28 square meters. But I'm happy. I'm okay, great. And I received him, and we talked, and he was saying one thing, like, I'm fighting. I'm a fighter, and this and that, and all these bells, and he was humble. He didn't talk. I later came to know all about this. But he said, maybe I'm getting too old for this. And,
for this shit?
Yeah. And he wasn't using shit words. But he felt, he was a bit insecure. Like not knowing, hey, what is this? And he has no enemies but himself. And there I got him. Then I said, just do this breathing. Get very simple, I got you. Just do this and then report back. And a week later, he gave me a telephone. He said, I'm going to win. That is confidence. He got back his confidence. He didn't fight with himself anymore. And so he got his focus. And once you get your focus, you learn about interoception. Interoception is the 8th neurological network everybody has, but nobody is schooled in. So when we have problems in our life, and they can come with the biggest fighters of the world, or the wealthiest people, or the most academic, grounded people, they can have confusion in their lives. Because in the end, we are here for the soul. And the soul is in. And sometimes you need to go back in. That's called interoception. And for that you need focus. And for that you go to the breath. Because the breath is the life force. And with that you are able to change your pH levels inside, by which your neural activity of your will, the interoception, your will, is able to do the repair inside of whatever needs to be done. That in the first place creates the confusion. Hey man, there's something going on. You got to go in and help me out there. but you don't know, hey, what is this? I've been trained to hit somebody in the face and to win and to do training and do what my trainer wants me to do and me and all that, you know? It's outward. This is inward.
Yeah.
And we don't know that language.
Yeah.
And if you go to CODE49, you will learn the language.
There you go.
You learn to translate it back into yourself and to have the breath. There it is. And then once the pH levels change, then your will is suddenly able to bridge inside and do whatever needs to be done.
Then you get control back over your will.
Yes. So, Alistair came. A week later, he had his confidence. And it took him, I think, 6 flawless victories to get to the title.
Yeah.
To the title, or that was with Stipe somewhere in America, in Chicago or somewhere, one of the
Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. In Cleveland, I was there. I was invited. I was there. I couldn't find my way to the chamber. Later, I found him in the chambers, and then we did the breathing.
In the locker room.
Listen, this is very important with this guy. We did the breathing, and in general for everybody. And what he told me later was also of great importance. Because I went to his chambers, and I had no real physical contact like a trainer does. But the flawless victories, they were there. But now I was there at the title match. I say, let's bring you to the title match and be there. And then, yeah, that's it. That's what I think. The spirit is able to make the body follow when it's very clear with that spirit inside, focusing. As I always say, focus or fuck us. You know? And so right there I was, and said, let's do some breathing. And he was there only able to do 35 seconds of retentions. And retentions is part of the capacity to take in oxygen and to change your pH. But this man was,
I didn't do my homework.
He got all the muscles. But you know the difference between a drill and a pneumatic drill? The pneumatic drill is able to go through the concrete. The other drill looks like a drill and it's drilling, but it will not go through the concrete.
It lacks
wall.
the breath.
So, and then I said to myself later, hey man, you don't think you are there. You can be even confident. Hey, I'm confident. Don't think you be there. Be there. And being is an entity that follows your interoception, that connection. And we lost this connection in our society. And later, Alistair said, if you're not physically like a trainer there, then, hey man, what do you expect? I had all the flawless victories, but at the title match, hey, it all needs to match up. Because that's the match.
Yeah.
And man, then it takes a little bit more training, physical training, to tune the guitar.
Yeah.
To play well.
I think also a little bit learning money, right? When I look back at my 43 years, long time, all getting old, all that stuff is learning. Because... and my takeaway was, hey, here's the schedule. I'll see you in 10 years. Good luck getting the championship. It doesn't work like that. The process involves back and forth, fine-tuning, a little bit more, breaking records, right? Getting to that 7-minute CO2 retention. Yeah. Checking in. And I think you as a coach also understand it has to be the and that was my takeaway. You can't just... so we did great work, but then in time...
So your takeaway was... good things need time and practice?
anyways, right? That's my long fight career. But if you're going to master a new skill or learn a new skill, you need to have the focus on it. A lot of notes, a lot of feedback, a lot of discussion, and it needs to be an actual thing. And I saw Wim, in hindsight, looking back, too few times for that, right? How many times did we say that? Every 2 months?
And it was very successful.
Already.
What he did with these couple of meetings, he did miraculously well. He found his focus, his confidence. He turned it into training effectivity, body awareness, and becoming stronger. And his body was following his mind.
His body was following his mind.
He did that, and then it is, as you say, the title match is not the real match we go for. Because this did not end it with the trainings and title match and becoming a world champion. I got myself also like 26 world records. But that served. It served those who were watching Discovery Channel, National Geographic, with my documentaries on what I was doing, challenging myself in the cold extremely. And then doctors and professors, they watch television as well. They watch the documentaries. And then they started to challenge me in scientific environment. And then the real match started. And the real match for you, because I think you should be or you are actually the Minister of Health in the world. The whole wide world. Oh, you think this is too much? No, it isn't. I'm going to see through that he will become that, because I am busy on the other side. I'm in the background there, showing through 540 people, make a shortcut. 540 people have been researched up on the Wim Hof method, which bears my name. It's the cold, it's the breathing, it's the believing. That is a holy trinity, like the pyramid here in CODE49. It's there, and it works, and it brings about the way we are actually built to be. And then we leave it to the choice of the people what they do with it.
Yeah.
We have never been schooled in that way. So now they have been comparing it to mindfulness and meditation. 540 people. On stress resilience, on stress experience, on sleep quality, wellness quality, inflammation, and performance ability. And it shows on 6 parameters of these that mindfulness and meditation, which is implemented and accepted worldwide in all the healthcare systems, in all the nations, that this, the cold, breathing and believing, works better. And not a little bit, big time.
Better than?
Better than mindfulness and meditation. And if you take stress resilience or stress issues in the corporate world, it's about 200 billion each year. I think it's a lot more, but this is registered. And we can top that off at least with the half. Boom. So, there you got big numbers.
So to make sure that everybody understands you, mindfulness and meditation is already fully accepted.
What is mindfulness exactly?
Even in the scientific world. But the cold, the breathing and the believing has even a way stronger effect.
Related to stress. Stress resilience and stress experience. You got last April of the last year, we did a study with 100 people on stress resilience, and it shows that people with their headphones on, in front of the computer, doing task performance, and then being disturbed by stressful signals. Yes. So everybody, all the 100 have been exposed to stress signals, and that shows that certain brain areas really lighten up, and that is the stress caused in the brain functioning. Yeah. So if you do the breathing little bit, then you're already, or you commence the breathing, you're already like 40% less stress. If you do it regularly, then you have 10 times less stress experience than the people who don't do these breathing exercises.
And that's with the cold.
And the breathing.
And with the, not even with the cold, just the breathing
Just
exercise.
the breathing.
And the breathing exercises, they have been driven, they come from going into the cold.
Yeah.
First thing you do when you go into the cold is breathe deep, like your phone is saying. They are deeper than normal.
Yeah.
We are too shallow in that. And that creates a shallow activation of our inner physiology, which is dealing with the stress.
Yeah.
So if that is low, then there is a lot of stress experience and a little stress resilience. So 10 times less stress experience by doing breathing exercises.
Yeah.
And so that shows that it works a lot better than mindfulness and meditation. And then comes in this the cold. The cold, man. Hey, if you go to the stress, then the stress will not come to you. Within 1.5 minutes, your body from the inside needs to oppose the impact of the cold. And that is what happens. When you get out of the cold, your body is the way nature meant it to be. And that is very powerful, very much more powerful than we live in our comfort zone behavior.
Yeah.
Kind of modern world.
Alistair, I'm really interested. Wim talking about this stress and this stress resilience because of the breathing. I can imagine if you're in a ring with 50,000 people watching and even more maybe online, and there's this monster in front of you, more than 100 kilos of muscle. Did that still bring stress to you? And if yes, how did you manage it? Or were you in a state that there was no stress at all in those moments?
I was not in stress.
No?
I was in a flow state. Very sharp, very observant. I see everything.
Can you walk us? How did you got into that flow state? Because we don't have any monster of 100 kilos of muscle that wants to kill us, but we all have our stressors in life.
Flow state is all through the breath. So when you breathe in a certain way, you get in a certain flow state. I'm actually doing it right now. And heightened perception. You see everything. Your opponent is slow motion. He doesn't even matter. He's going to lose anyway. So that gives you...
So there's also the believing. So it's the breathing, but it's also the believing. He's going to lose anyway.
You already know.
Yeah.
It's not even believing, it's knowing. There's a difference. When you believe it, you're still hoping. When you know it, you know it.
It's already done.
It's already done. And that's and then also, because it's not only knowing, it's also based on your training. Like I've had 94 fights, 30 years of training, 25 years of the one fight after the other. So I learned a lot of techniques, a lot of strategies, a lot of angles, a lot of everything, right? All these buttons. And when you address them all, you literally know more than your opponent. And then you already know you're going to win.
I'm curious, Al.
So controlling your breath, controlling the voice in your mind, right? It's a different aspect.
Yeah.
Which you can train. Go in the ice, and you're just sitting there, and it's like, okay, yeah. Then you're controlling
You have to, because the voice is screaming, "Get out!"
Yeah.
And you have to control it. How has your relationship with Wim changed your vision, maybe about yourself, or even maybe about the world? If you look back, the first time you met Wim, the place you were at then, the place you are right now, I think a totally different place.
It's a total different spot. I met Wim in 2014 or 15. 14 it was? 15, somewhere there. Yeah.
Were you in a good place at that time?
In a
14.
In an okay place, but still a little bit building up. And to me, it is. I can describe phases as a location where I trained. So I was at the time training in Albuquerque, John Jones, Greg Jackson, Holly Holmes. It was a bunch of fighters. Later, I switched to Denver, Colorado. That was Curtis Blades, Team Elevation. So that was a different period. Yeah. Looking back, I can talk for hours, but
What's the biggest change that Wim caused in your vision about yourself, about the world,
well, it's still
life?
ongoing. It's because Wim also changed when I first met him. I remember you were like the guy, like it was like a scene from a movie. Right? I approached you from behind. You were like gardening. I had no idea who you was either. We didn't know about each other. And but it was very positive, right? Handshake. Okay, let's get to work.
I saw a friendly guy, friendly being.
That's
was
beautiful,
it.
yeah. Because a lot of people look at Alistair and they get scared. Yeah.
I think they confronted with their own fears.
What's something you know about Alistair that probably most people don't know about him?
Whoa. Good. He's always too late.
I can affirm that.
I call him all stars, you know? Not Alistair, all stars. And the stars always come too late.
Alistair, the same question for you. What's something everybody knows, the Iceman? What's something we don't know about Wim?
Wim is a lot more special than people even realize.
Yeah?
When we're talking about sages and enlightened people from the past, they have existed. They have all existed. But Wim is our enlightened person from today. And that is a very big...
Whoa.
big, but it's true. It's true.
Thanks. Thanks. Hey, man, the thing is, we got to stand up.
Yeah, man.
If it is us, let's stand up and rise. And let's have no doubt about it. We are going to change the world. It's happening, and that's why we are here. Isn't so, Tibor?
Yeah.
Ah.
I want to give props to you both during the pandemic, especially you, but on a distance, you as well, Wim. But you, Alistair, I in hindsight, I caught myself pointing to all the darkness, and this is bad, and this is bad, and Klaus Schwab, and the WEF. And then when people would ask me, Tibor, what do you see for the future? I saw more and more darkness. But you, Alistair, turned on the switch in me, and your positive energy and your positive outlook on life really helped me to, yes, see the darkness. But the answer is not pointing at the darkness. The answer is creating more light. And I really want to thank you for that. And that's the same vibe you've always been preaching and you give off, Wim. Let's bundle our energy and let's create more light instead of just pointing to the darkness.
It was very funny how that, because a lot of things I've seen it, Wim, and then I follow in those footsteps. So I've seen it somewhere. It's also the information that I pick up, and it's a decision, it's a choice, and it's also of review, right? A great role model. But I brought my mother to Wim. And I was very curious how, this was like a long time ago, I was very curious how this interaction would take place. Because my mother...
No experience in personal development whatsoever?
No. Life happened to her. And life has been really tough. Smoking cigarettes, likes a glass of wine, health deteriorating. And I just wanted to see how Wim would react to my mother, who never listened to anything from my, hey, you need to drink a little bit more juice, always resistance. So I was just curious how, and Wim, it was very funny, do you remember? So they approached each other, and Wim, they were just looking at each other from a little distance, 2 meters. And then you were very warm and very friendly, very, and my mother, she didn't really know how to react. She was wandering around on the premises looking at some flowers. But you were very happy and very positive. And that I just took that. I was like, hey, that's the way to handle. Because, and then later came a little bit the other aspects, right? If you're going to be offensive or negative towards somebody, they will always come negativity back. At the best, no reaction.
Yeah.
So I just chose, hey, that's the best reaction is positive.
But Alistair, then I'm curious to your answer on this question about Wim. Wim is changing the whole healthcare system. And I'm a little bit afraid that if he succeeds too much, it will become a risk for him, if you know what I mean. So I'm asking you this question, Mr. Positive, Mr. All Stars Positive. Should I worry about Wim's life if he keeps on proving?
No.
So explain to us.
Because
that's why I'm asking you.
What we're doing is we are currently vibrating in a very positive spectrum. So there's no target there. The target is on crazy idiots, preppers, people are loud. But when you're operating, you're just helping people. You're just helping all the people you've helped. Then there's nothing there. It's just positive energy.
Yeah, but
so,
he will cost the healthcare system, current healthcare system, a lot of money.
Yeah, but they can't see it. They literally cannot see Wim. And then it'll be too late. Boom. And then too much people will understand, and they can't see him. They can't see it now.
Another thing is, I'm good for the pharmaceutical director and your neighbor too. Except for, just be friendly toward them, and love is the principle. But if he shits on your lawn, I don't know what you're gonna do. Just to joke. The thing is, what we do, we are not right wing, left wing. We are both the wings. We fly. We fly over it all, and we fly under the radar, and we show that something is good for and the wellness industry and the pharmaceutical. For example, pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, they in the end also want it to be successful. Their medicines. Now, chemo in many cases is not successful and very damaging. If you do the Wim Hof method. With chemo, and that means a $27 trillion industry, this I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not light.
No.
That's a lot of money, okay? That's a lot of power, a lot of establishment, a lot of people, a lot of belief, etc., etc., a lot of darkness, a lot of light, whatever it is. That industry, if you start doing very simple breathing, cold, playfully, for 1 week. You multiply your white cells and your red cells. That is the immune system strength.
Combined with the chemotherapy.
Yes. Yes. And for 1 week, then you multiply between 5 and 10 times the white and the red cells, by which the chemo is going to work a lot better. Why? The chemo is poison.
Yeah.
But if the immune system is strong, it defends the poison to get into the healthy tissue, which is the problem with chemo. But the immune system is not there to preserve the tumors. So the tumors get a full load, and the healthy tissue stays healthy. That is the product of doing this for 1 week. So they should be very happy, the pharmaceutical industry people, because also these people get cancer. Yeah, cancer is a natural, the Germanic healing system. Cancer actually is a natural phenomenon. It comes because when it's acidic. When it's anaerobic, when it's long-term not lived inside, you get cancer because it wants to grow. That's natural. But now we found a way to cooperate with the politics, with the healthcare systems, with the people, with humans, with something that is not invasive and brings about the best health within us. And it's apolitical. It's good for literally every person in the world.
Okay, but Wim, and I've got the same question for you later.
That's our
Alistair.
defense system.
Wim, do you believe the theory that there's a system in place that is designed to make us sick, weak,
of course,
and under control?
Of course. If you lose your clients, then you have no industry. So it's opportunistic. We, as humanity, we made ourselves sick, and we went for the temptations of entertainment and comfort zone behavior. Yeah. We are deeply ingrained that the cold is negative, and sweetness is nice, and entertainment is only for those who made it. That feeling is deeply ingrained, and we have no connection with that deep part of our brain. We cannot change it. We are still driven by eros and thanatos, according to Freud and the psychiatrists. These deep layers are still ruling over. Now, if you go to the cold, then the cold will not come to you. If you go to the stress will not come to you. And it teaches you to go into that depth. And if you're able to go, because you go into the cold, so you go into the stress, and then you get through the stress, and you are doing it consciously, by which neural pathways will be developed very fast into the deepest part of your brain. And if you're able to connect with the deepest part of your brain, where else can you not connect? You become the master of your own mind. And what is a man choosing when he is the master of his mind? Happiness or not happiness? Health or sickness? Strength or weakness? Of course, you get the best for nothing. Non-invasively, you give people the power to rule over themselves and their emotions. Because I'm doing the studies and all that. It's already there. Only the establishment wants clients, wants people to be weak. That's logical. It has crept in. It's like a leech that crept in, and now we don't know what is happening.
Crept in. It's snuck in.
So what you're saying, Wim, is that if we, through the breath, through the colds, through facing the stress or our fears, our demons, we gain control over our mind. And by gaining control of our mind, the system loses its ability to pull us towards the darkness. Is that a...
Absolutely, because this is the situation of right now. Only the darkness. Nobody likes to be Satan or this or that or diabolic, or we can call it antagonistically this or that. Like you said in the beginning, the time of Schwab and the WEF and the vaccines and the industry, etc. And the dark cloud. There is no dark cloud. This is just a product of human consciousness. But human consciousness, and there we come in, alas, we are able to direct it once we become the master within ourselves. And it is easier than we think. It's not complicated. We are not schooled in it because the whole school system is adapted to make you serve into a system which is sodomizing the planet. For God's sake, let's stop that and see if there is an alternative way to teach our children from innocence into making this world a paradise. And that is not complicated. No. It only takes one generation.
Yeah.
So now we have to come with precise data. Is it possible to make our consciousness change? And there we come in and we say yes. Instead of half the comfort, looking at television with croaky chips and whatever brands they come in and out, and promising alter, and we just become obese and diabetes and cancer and all that shit. And that's a healthy economy on sick people. Now we come in and we want to bring real comfort. Yeah. And real comfort only comes if you go through your ego into stress. And within 1.5 minutes, you come to the true depth of your own physiology and take over the command. And then a person who is a master over his own mind will always choose happiness, strength, and health instead of not being happy and weakness and sickness.
Beautiful.
Logical.
Beautiful. So Alistair, what Wim is saying, what I think Wim is saying is that we don't need to fight the system, something I used to try. but we need to heal ourselves so we don't fall into the system.
Perfectly worded.
I think I've known you for a few years, that you made that journey quite beautifully, on a very positive manner. You also had your hardships and your darkness. Can you tell us a little bit about? I really appreciate your mindset, and it's realistic in one way. You see the world as it is, but then you focus, or you can stay in positive energy. How did you make the transition from the darkness more towards the light, of creation of more light? And what's your secret for that positive energy of yours?
It's an interesting one. So big transformation started 2.5 years ago. Step one, always, my step one was a phone detox. I didn't even know what was... I just knew I was addicted to my phone. My daughter actually collapsed. She was 14 at the time. Couldn't go to school anymore. So I went around and looking what can be the reason. There were no friends. There's no drugs. So I decided that it must be the phone. She's on her phone too much. I already mentioned that when she was 4 years old. So 10 years previous. And then 10 years later, she's collapsed. She can't go to school.
And you were on your phone?
I was on my phone a lot, and games, Instagram,
4 hours,
just
6 hours?
Yeah, 6 hours a day,
Wow.
4 to 6 hours, 7 hours sometimes. And through my sport, I learned how to create schedules. So I just created a schedule for myself. 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes dinner time. And 21 days later, boom. Wow, that was my dopamine reset. And that is linked to your dopamine receptor. Every cell in your body has a receptor that clicks after 21 days. So I kind of figure out, hey, it's my dopamine receptor. But I didn't really know what happened. I just knew my entire energy was very high. I was very happy, like a natural happiness, like a bliss feeling. I ate an apple. It was like the first apple I ever ate. Everything felt like new. I was very happy. My inherent ability, but I've never did a dopamine reset in my life. So it's just that dopamine kept building up over your entire life, and then you suddenly get rid of it, boom. And but that was my big change moment, and it's been a process ever since 2.5 years. But I got a lot of other people off their phones, collected a lot of data, how the phone actually attacks your system, because it is an attack. It's not helping you, so it's harming you. It's an attack. But the process in itself, yeah, I don't know. Through my sport, I'm used to advancing, bettering my position.
So you have a growth mindset. Some other gold nugget you just mentioned is scheduling the things that are important for you in life, to keep things small, like your phone, or maybe the things that you want to focus more energy on.
Well, my belief is everybody needs to do the dopamine reset once a year. This is also Ramadan, what Ramadan is for. It's actually a dopamine reset. But now, the Muslims are not resetting because the phone is instigating the dopamine impulse. So they're not doing the reset correctly. But in my opinion, everybody should do that once a year. Separate from that, I start meditating 2.5 years ago. I start seeing Wim Hof again. I had not seen him in a couple of years. What else?
And what's the voice inside your head? It's because I've met a few world champions. I've met a lot of humble people. But you are one of the only people I've ever met that is a true champion and very humble. The combination is quite unique. What's the voice inside your head telling you that keeps you so grounded, so open, but also, again, so positive?
What is the voice in my mind that is telling me that?
Because you're so sure. Whenever I ask you, well, I'm going to ask you, is it going to get worse or is it going to get better, the future?
It's going to 100% get better.
Why?
Because we're doing it. We are leading the rest of everywhere, actually. Because
I think he is still he is on the way to become actually the best of what he has been building upon.
His
true purpose is to really become the minister of the health in worldwide. He has been everywhere He knows all the backgrounds of all the people. He learned to have respect if the opponent is Puerto Rican, Indonesian, or American, or whatever. It doesn't matter the background. You can actually come together. Even in a fight, you fight for the light. Not to overtake a person. That insight makes him humble. Like, I'm not there yet where I should be, but I'm on the way. And that makes him humble because he knows it's coming. I know I'm humble. I'm not going to cheer. I'm there. I'm humble. Look at me. No, I still want to go to the top. So every day is going to be fresh like the first day. Every day is an opportunity to make a big shift. Yesterday, for example, I had a new study coming in on endometriosis. Endometriosis is like millions of women who are in silent, unnecessary pain. And they are not able to conceive children. They can have $1 billion on the bank, but still they are not able to get inside themselves, taking away the pain and the inflammation and the ability to conceive. There is a silent suffering going on in the world with millions and millions of rich people. We are going to do starting the study now next month. And we will win that war. That is like equal like Ukraine, Russia. The amount of victims, it's silent wars are going on right now.
Yeah.
And we're going to still those wars. We're going to bring the peace and we're going to bring conception. We're going to bring confidence and that's love.
Wow.
And that's what we do. And once that is done, then you do not help one person, you help millions through science. Then I feel then I'm gonna fucking stand on the table and do the hula peep or whatever it takes. I pee on you. I don't care what I do because I'm there. I'm bringing the humanity to have victory over unnecessary suffering.
Wim, about that silent suffering that's going on, because I know that you went through plenty of hardship, and maybe you want to elaborate a little bit about that, because I believe it was the starting point for you, the suffering to get into the ice, into the cold. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about your start, but also for the people that are listening, watching right now and are struggling in silence or suffering in silence in whatever way.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them?
Yes, I came. Imagine you live your life, and then your partner, the person you love, the partner with whom you have children and all, and you just think you're gonna stay forever together, the love of your life, and then jumps 8 stories down. Because there is no solution. There's a terror inside the head. It's silent. Nobody sees. And you got to move along with everybody and everything because nobody gives a shit, actually. Just act normal. Oh, you act, you crazy. No, you're not crazy. You're sensitive. Some people are sensitive and they become depressed. They become depressed. Their spirits become oppressed. And that causes depression. Depression is a lifeless, understand by departments of our brain not receiving the right biochemistry, which is called blood. Blood flow is not going there. Their neural activity, their will is not able to enter anymore. And then it causes deterioration of biochemistry and you become depressed. The pressure of life is gone. Depressed. So for those people, I found, together with professors in neuroscience, I'm a dropout of school. I'm working with professors all over the world, the best of them. And we got to these problems, also about the phone and addiction to phone. It shrinks the brain. 8 hours on average shrinks the brain. So we have created tools that, on one hand, is technology and great, but we don't know how to use the beast. It's a beast. You have to learn to use it like a horse. If you use it well, then your horse becomes your friend, and then you ride with the horse, and it's beautiful. With the horse, you can go in onto the savannah and mingle with the zebras because they don't see a human; they see a horse. It's amazing how that works. You can go in peace with the elephants. They don't see you as an enemy. But if you go walk, then they see the enemy. Thing is, the shrinkage of the brain activity within us, that power, that technology, we need to learn to control that. And we can control that what takes away the life force or our possible will inside our own brain. We can bring people back to have a absolute control over that brain. And then nobody chooses depression.
What was your turning point, Wim? Because that must have been I cannot imagine, but it must be the darkest place.
It's quite amazing. I came there from that dark place. The love of my life is gone, and I had no money, and I got 4 children. De bijstandsuitkering. And now it's completely changed. But back then, I was dependent on that, and actually,
on welfare.
My discipline took me through. Going into the ice, doing breathing exercises every day, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, like military. I train military. I train the special forces how to win the war, how to bring peace inside. Because I trained the special forces in America, the G.I. Joes, the SEALs. You know, those SEALs. I told them what to do. And you know what they said after 2 days of training? I said, we were in a circle and asked the first one and everybody, hey, talk from your heart. What is your goal? He said, I just want to protect my family. Bring love and defend love. And that we miss out on this. But they felt it in 2 days. And that training I was forced into when I lost my wife, being in an impersonal kind of system, like a train going on every day. It's hey, there is no solution over there. The solution must be somewhere else. And intuitively, I went into the ice deeper and more. And I was in the ice, you survive. You don't live, you survive. You survive, and once you survive, you reset your system. And then you get a hold of it, of this agony, this emotional agony I was into, which makes crazy your brain. Most of the people have a crazy brain, like, they cannot stop it. But the cold stops it. Just a moment, but enough for the healing to start to recognize that you, hey, emotionally, I feel just great, nice, okay, zen. It's there, and that in the long run healed me. My children made me survive. The cold healed me.
Your children made you survive. The cold healed you. Wow.
Yeah, I had to survive for my children, you know, to give it. And then the cold also gives all the energy you need.
Yeah.
Because it resets not only the body, it knows exactly your spirit, where you are, what you got to do. Yeah. And I had to take care of 4 children. I got plenty of energy. I was the vrolijke fluiter from the whole area. Why is he always so? He's always happy. He's like whistling, singing.
Something must be wrong with him.
But something must be wrong with him. He's dancing. You can't do that. You know.
So, Alistair, one of the key things Wim just told us was discipline. Yeah? So his discipline helped him. You are you are the most disciplined person I know. what is discipline? And for people that are listening right now, that feel that they lack discipline, maybe to get into the code or to do the breathing exercise or just to walk on their own path. Yeah, what is discipline for you? How do we train it? How do we improve on it?
Discipline is power. If you do not have any power, you cannot get up and walk or drive, and you're not going to get anywhere. So you need to have power. Very important. Actually, for a change, you need 3 aspects, right? Power is just one of them. You need also a method. What am I going to do? You need like a plan. And you need also, what was the other one? You need a will. Actually, the will comes first. Wanting to get better.
Yeah.
That was the thing with my daughter. Screen addiction. I broke my screen addiction. But my daughter's still addicted. Because she doesn't understand that she can be better.
You wanted to change. She, not yet.
She doesn't understand it can be better. So she's depressed, and still not going to school. When I asked the mother, it's going a little bit better, but it's not going better. It's going to go better when you reset.
How does it feel for you as a father? Does it feel powerless for you? It must be.
No. I always think in options and game plans. It's a little bit different wiring, but I just thinking, okay, I have to go through actually the entire world, because that's my plan. I'm gonna detox 160 people now. Collected a lot of data, putting all the data in an app. We're going to be doing a lot of media with when the app is launched, and then get the world in motion to detox from your devices,
from the phone back into life.
And then finally, eventually, I will reach my daughter.
Wow!
Right? Because that if everybody's doing it, ultimately it's always her choice. But if everybody's saying, "Hey, I feel great by doing it," which I expect that will happen, because you will feel great once you detox from your phone. Right, but it's method, it's discipline, and it's a desire. And the youth, because they've been raised with the phone, they don't even know a life without the phone.
No.
So with the youth, so my goal is also the people of the same age, the parents actually.
And I have another question for you, Alistair. One of Wim's slogans is getting higher in your own supply. What's your vision, your take? Because the last few years, especially on Instagram, things like ayahuasca, mushrooms, they got really popular. So then you're getting high, not on your own supply. What's your take on
that? That is not high on your own supply. I think that I did ayahuasca once. It was 2018. It was actually when I was still fighting, and I did it for the experience. I was curious what's going to happen, but I immediately knew I'm not going to do this while I'm still fighting, because I become too sensitive because of it. And I became more sensitive for a while, for like several months. Colors were more vivid.
Do you think it's a good thing that more and more people are taking ayahuasca, taking mushrooms, microdosing?
I think all these things are medicinal is good. So you can heal yourself, and we're talking about getting rid of the darkness. Darkness is in your physical body. It's also in your mental mind. It's also in your spirit. So you get rid of the darkness through these practices. That's why it's medicine. If you're going to be doing it every week, no. But if you have a plan behind it, and it could be multi-year plan, right? Because, I mean, trauma is stored in the body, mind, or spirit. Yeah, how does that work exactly? But that I know that my process has been ongoing for the last 2.5 years, and maybe even longer, right? Because I've always been on my diet, that's a physical detox. But my process has been long. So I'm not necessarily against it, but there has to be a plan.
And how's that for you, Wim? Using the external chemicals, substances?
Yeah, I heard about it all, and I know worldwide people in those sessions, they love to do the breathing, the Wim Hof method breathing, because it works so much better than the medicine. But the same is for chemo. Remember in the beginning of the conversation? It is the healthy tissue that becomes more defending. So if a drug like that gets in, it gets in all the tissue. But actually you need it to heal. Your body knows exactly what needs to be healed, yes or no. Only when we get ayahuasca, ibogaine, the toad, or anything like that, or microdosing mushrooms, etc., it gets everywhere. And so, if you want to have a medicine work more effectively, then use the breathing, because then your body becomes alkaline, and the target of your healing and the repair of it through the medicine is much more effective.
Have you done mushrooms?
No, when I was 17, 18, 19 years, I did it. Not recreatively, but spiritually. And I took doses like 5 times the lethal dose. Later it was like stramonium, atropa belladonna, and datura inoxia. I found it in the parks here. I was looking into the old scriptures, the witches and the sorcerers. What did they do? They flew on their broomsticks because they were in their mind flying. And they took datura inoxia and all atropa belladonna. But in the end, it is used medicinally. Yeah, very little doses. But then I was looking, I was with 3 friends, for example. And they all had the berries, these black berries, atropa belladonna. And they were like, we are going to do this. And then they were there and they were doubting. And as they were doubting, I took all the berries up. And the other day, I was naked back into my room. I don't know what I've done in between. I was gone. I did a couple of those sessions, and I think the imprint in my subconscious has been so direct that I was like gone. And then coming back, still am alive, like I'm alive, because I passed through. I survived it all, like the cold. I survived it all. I went into the extremes. I think I activated something deeply into the subconscious back then. And in that way, medicinally or spiritually, you're able to use it because your own conditioning is not able to get into that depth. So you need something else to get you there and then later retrieve all that terrain. I think that's the way it worked out with me, because it was absolutely not nice to do. But my spirituality said, yeah, I want this. I want to go and defy death and life itself, or our idea of it. I want this. When I was 12, I said to myself and my friends, hey, if they think pollution, abuse, sickness, depression, wars, etc. is normal, then I think it is sick. I'm going to do something about it. What? I don't know. I do it. There my journey started.
How old were you then?
12 years.
Yeah. And for me, it was 13 when I also had an experience. I had like a really, really bad job in the factory. And 4 gulden 35 bruto per uur. Yeah. And also there, I made a very conscious decision to...
Brutus.
Beat the system. I was very young, 13.
Yeah, you know, right? Same there. Same there.
Yeah.
Same there. We started on the same foot, man. And now we got to arrive simultaneously over the finish line, where we bring peace, happiness, strength, and health. Yes?
Yes.
There we are, here like a trinity, but we are like-minded. It's common sense, what we say. We just don't want to get rid of that monster of confusion that is trying to rule over us. Make us do stupid things and vaccination for what? I'm healthy. As you said in a program, I saw that. So to make that all shortcut, I'm into full implementation worldwide in all the healthcare systems with a method that is easy, accessible, very effective and powerful, accessible for every person in the world. And we leave it to the choice of the person, because we are not going to mess what people think of themselves to do. Yeah. But we present them a keys, of methodology within themselves by which they are able to master their own mind and body.
Yeah, we give them another option.
Yes.
The system has been giving them. To wrap it up, guys, I want to end with love. So first for you, Wim, what does true love mean to you? That's the first part of the question. And what do you think is the biggest challenge that couples or people in general are facing right now, trying to find that true love? So what is true love and what's the biggest challenge we are facing right now?
We are absolutely over-individualized. If you follow these principles, and that's a true love. True love is that what composes a happiness, strength, and health in a person. And sometimes it goes through discomfort. So if I have to put your head in a mud to get you more healthy, I will do that, because you will not do that by yourself. I will not do that by force, but with love. I'll do that with love. I mean, later on, you will see the same thing. You will feel the same thing. And then you will be able to heal the world. That's love.
And what's the biggest challenge? Because there's more divorce than ever, there's more people lonely than ever.
Yes.
And how do they face that challenge of individualization?
Yes. Over-individualization. Yeah, whatever that is, you know. Words. We have separated of the greatest power in us. Sharing.
Human connection.
Human connection.
Yeah.
It's there. The unconditional love is there. We just got to tune. And know that I got the science to back it up in brain scans and blood samples. It's there. Your blood changes when you are in love. Your blood changes. You can see it in the brain, and you can see it in the blood. So there is no doubt about it. Get the best of yourself by not being imprisoned in yourself. Share.
Get the best out of yourself by not being imprisoned
in yourself.
In yourself.
Get out. Liberate yourself. Hug somebody, man.
No.
But truly. And until you find the point, and it is very fast, you will find it break the spell.
Yeah.
Where you're in.
Because if I is the biggest thing in my world, then my world is really, really very small. Alistair, what's your answer? What does true love mean to you? And what do you think is the biggest struggle regarding love relationships people are facing right now, and how can we overcome those struggles?
I think it's a matter of time. When you look at history, there's always been ups and downs, dips, and it's ever evolving, ever moving. I think this currently is a cycle. I think it's a very difficult time, but I believe that after this time will come a golden era, and that will last for a very long time. But right now, it is a difficult time. We're under pressure, right? There's war, there's Gaza, there's East versus West. China is doing their thing. The phone, that's actually attacking us ourselves, our personal selves.
The West is doing their thing?
The East and West.
Yeah. What is... let's go back to love. What does true love mean to you? What's your definition of true love?
That it gives me power. That gives me motivation. That is the reason of my existence.
And okay, so that's what it gives you, and it's the reason of your existence.
Yes.
And how can people overcome? Because all the powers that you just mentioned, they're so big and they're all outside of us. What can someone do that's listening right now, looking for love, but still lacking love? What's your advice?
Always work on yourself, right? And then there's the physical training, learning a skill to defend yourself, getting stronger.
Women as well?
That will come later. Always work on yourself first, right? Because if you're going to chase a woman, what are you going to get?
No. I mean, women need to be able to defend, do some fighting as well.
Yeah, or yoga, or you're running, but be physical, because you want to train your body, right? You want to have a healthy body. If you're not going to train, you're going to end up with a body at age 50, 60, 70, which is not trained, not used.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a strong body. You want to always strengthen your body.
Yeah.
Then when you're doing that, you're also going to have a look at your food, right? And then the partner will come later. and it will come. The partner will come.
Final question for both of you guys. We know we've seen you in the spotlights celebrating your successes, and the biggest successes are still to come. But everything is possible. I believe that, or almost everything is possible. But truly, everything has a price to be paid, and people don't want to talk about that part. So I'm really curious, Alistair, Wim, what's the biggest price you have paid to get where you are right now, for the success that you have?
Sacrifice is power.
Sacrifice is power.
Power is sacrifice.
What did you have to sacrifice? What is maybe the biggest sacrifice you've made?
I just had a goal. I want to win my fight. I want to fight in Japan. I want to become world champion. Then I want to become second world champion. Then I want to become K1 champion. And I just always went running, sprinting. Is that a sacrifice? To me, it was a beautiful, gigantic journey, and I made a couple dollars doing it. I met wonderful people. To me, there was no downside. I mean, sacrifice. I'm having the best life I can actually have. So,
is that really true that there is no? Because I really believe that if we are brutally honest, we have to acknowledge that there is some price we have to pay. That we have to make some sacrifices.
There's choices and there's consequences. But the way, okay, it's also a little bit and that maybe to your previous question, what is my mindset? I don't know. I can see things positive.
Yeah.
So I can just, even if it's not positive, I can switch it to positive.
Yeah.
And then I'm okay with it. Boom.
So looking back, you don't feel that you sacrificed something for the success that you've had?
Absolutely. I made a decision with consequences.
Okay, so you didn't. Yeah, okay,
so it's not a sacrifice. It's just a decision. I made. Okay, and if you're not going to do it, nothing's going to happen. So even to me, it would not even be possible not to do it, because then I'm going to be sitting there. I still would be in that factory.
And what is a consequence? What is a consequence that you accepted? What is a consequence that you accepted in order?
I accept everything that comes with the decision to. Okay, so you're gonna go for it. Then everything is okay, because it's like that lobster in the pan, right? He's being boiled, or you're gonna sit there and wait till you're boiled and you're not gonna do anything, or you're gonna go for it, and then everything what comes after doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
but I accept what comes after.
I totally understand you right now. But can you be specific in some consequences that you accepted, some price that you paid in order to be able to do what you did?
I'll give you a good example. My best friend, and this was you kind of know about it. My best friend was while I was, making money for all of us. He was trying to get rid of the, what do you call that? He was he was backstabbing me. That was basically it. And to me, it hurt, and it still sometimes hurts. Sometimes, but I can totally accept it, because it comes a little bit with the role, with the part, with the mission, with what I'm going to do. Right, we're now going to jump up even higher, and that's like a different way of looking at it. So I can accept it.
Yeah.
Instead of getting angry, being upset, holding trauma, or being, then it would be.
And is there a conclusion about yourself that situation happened? Is there something, looking back at yourself and your own behavior?
100%. Yes, and it's a very good one that you addressed that too, because the way I see it is that I caused it in the first place.
How?
By allowing wrong actions to come even into me, and that actually resulted in that.
Yeah.
So it's more my fault.
And why did you allow it? Were you too busy, or did you hope that you didn't want to see it, or why did you allow?
You mean the wrong decisions?
Yeah. No. Why did you allow?
I can answer that question.
Yeah.
The wrong decisions come from. For example, from a dopamine problem. If your dopamine is high, you're gonna do crazy stuff.
Or the disconnect where Wim is talking about. If you're not internally connected, you get more vulnerable for
100%
from outside dark forces.
100%, and it slowly creeps in. And it's actually, the way I see it, also inevitable with everybody. That's why we need to reset, and that's why you need to get rid of it. Otherwise, it's gonna. Otherwise, inevitability. ability, it all will come in. Because it's a little bit also the time, right? There's the time of information, a lot of impulses. The impulses create darkness in us.
Yeah.
So we must detox. And then, yeah.
Thanks.
Is that a little bit...
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little bit complicated. But.
So Wim, final question for you as well. What's the... Yeah, and if you could be specific, maybe what's the price or what are consequences that you accepted, the price that you paid in order to be on this mission?
I think everybody is born with a karma.
Karma.
Yeah. With consequences, genetically consequences in life. You got to work through it and then get into enlightenment. How to alleviate therefrom from those problems given through the lineage of our ancestors. It comes to us, and we get the responsibility, but also the ability to respond.
Everybody,
and that's why I made this soul search, this method. This method makes you able to gain control over your mind and your body. And only then you're able to get into your purpose and work it out. And that satisfies you in the depth. Not money, not women, not men, not cars, not things. No, your purpose inside. Once you are able to de-traumatize what is given through from the lineage, from your ancestors, you are alive. You are able to do you got that responsibility and the ability to respond, as I said, to fulfill that purpose and become enlightened of it. And with that, you will bless your soul. And with that, you become eternal. You become unbreakable, because the soul is that way. The afterlife is alive. You better know that now. And so,
what happens after we die?
Our consciousness just keeps on going. And it doesn't need a body anymore. There is a blissful state that doesn't need the body. But until that blissful state is not able to be disconnected from traumatic experiences, it is not able to enlighten itself. That's our purpose in this world. That's why we have a body.
So make enlightened?
Yes.
To heal.
To heal, because we are not born half, but holy, innocent. And now we need to get it to the holiness. And it's physical, huh? This is neuroscience. I'm talking neuroscience. You can see it with measurement devices when a brain works 100%. When your healing capacities are at work to get deficiencies in the genetical disorders and make it right.
And is enlightenment 100%?
Absolutely, 100%, 1000%. It's beyond percentage. It's a blissful state, and it'll get there. And you don't need to hunt for it. It'll get to you. It'll get to you, and when you die, boom, you're in. It's like you go from one class to another. You don't want to go double the class. You don't want to come back in another body. I want to go with my friends. You know? Have a nice time. A great time. Eternally.
To wrap it up, guys, we're talking about death. Wim, we are there at your funeral. What's the one sentence that's on your grave?
And how old do you become?
That's an assumption. I'm going to outlive you. I'm so sorry.
I believe you.
The thing is, I'm here until I'm done. When my mission is done, I can go. Like a flower, when it has flowered, flourishes and it blossoms, and then the beauty has been there, the purpose has been there, everything has been there. It wants to go to sleep. So when I go to sleep, I want you to be awake, because I'll be awake while I'm asleep. And if you don't, from a cloud on there, to make it metaphorically, I will wake you up, man. I'll be there to make you awake and to keep your promise, to bring love and understanding into this world.
Beautiful, Wim. Well, I really hope that you're not done for a while. But thanks for that answer, Alistair. Your sentence on your grave, the one sentence that your legacy maybe, or your advice.
Advice. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up.
Keep your hands up and take a breath.
Yeah, it'll be. That's just one sentence. I have a lot more years now to bring the law in the world. And you're going to see that the next couple of years.
Beautiful.
The next, I don't know, maybe even the next 40 years or something. Because, big plans.
Thanks. Thanks, Wim. Thanks, Alistair.
And thanks, Tibor.
With a lot of love. Everybody, thanks for watching and listening. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and give your feedback in the comments. And let's get rid of the phone. Let's take a deep breath and let's keep on this journey together, searching for higher common ground. Thanks.